Good morning, boys and girls. I sure hope that you have had a great week. I am so excited to be with you today. Let's start our time like we always do with our prayers, okay? Remember, there are 4 types. Your I love you prayers, your thankful prayers, your I'm sorry prayers, and your please prayers. Today, let's do our I'm sorry prayers. That will go best with our story for today. All right, what do we need? That's right, we need our stuffed animals, don't we? I'll count backward by 10, from 10, and you run and get yours. You ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. All right, let's say an I'm sorry prayer. Remember, Miss Amy will start and you can finish. Bow our heads and close our eyes. Dear Jesus, we thank you so much for this day, and I am so thankful for the boys and girls that are watching today. And Father, I just want to tell you that I am sorry when I don't always keep you as God first. Amen. Great job, boys and girls. All right, let's put our stuffed animals away and let's go through our Bible truths, okay? Our first one asks, what word means that God is all powerful? Omnipotent. Very good. What does it mean that God is sovereign? You got it. That means God is in control of everything. What promise is told throughout the Old Testament? Remember who was coming? That's right, a Savior was coming. And who saves sinners from the punishment of sin? That's right, it's Jesus. He is the one who was sent for us, right, in order to save us from our sin. Great job, boys and girls. Well, you know, for several weeks now, we have been talking about Moses, haven't we? And in our last lesson, we learned about some special laws that God gave to Moses in order to help the people, right? And to teach the people how to treat God and how to treat each other. Now, do you remember what those special laws were called? There were 10 of them. That's right, the 10 Commandments. Can you say that with me, boys and girls? 10 Commandments. Very good. Well, remember the first 4 commandments teach us how to worship God, okay? And let's see if we can remember what those are, okay? The first 4, our first one is that we put God first. And remember, that's what Miss Amy prayed. Sometimes I'm sorry I don't always put God first, okay? So that's the first one, to put God first before everything. The second one is to worship only God. We don't need to worship anything else, do we? We only need to worship God. That's the second one. Our third one is to honor God with our words. We want to make sure that we use our words properly and honor God with those words, okay? All right, and the fourth one, which these are the 4 that teach us how to worship God, right, is to take time for God. Remember to keep the Sabbath, right? To take that time to go and learn about God and talk about God, but most importantly, to worship God, okay? All right, now, after that, we have the next 6, and those 6 show us how to treat others, okay? So let's take a look at those. Our 5th one deals with obey your parents, right? It's important, boys and girls. That's the one that comes with a promise, okay? And you need to obey your parents, your mom and your dad. The 6th one is to respect human life, okay? To remember to respect human life. Human life is very important, boys and girls, because God created it, okay? Number 7 is obey God's design for marriage. It's important that when we get married, when God gives you the one that He has chosen for you, then we respect that design and obey that design for marriage, to love one another, okay? Number 8 is to respect other people's things. You don't like it if somebody takes your toys and breaks them, do you? No. So we need to respect other people's things, okay? And number 9 is to tell the truth, all right? Always tell the truth, boys and girls, because be sure that the truth will always come out, okay? And number 10 is be content with what you have. Be happy with what you've been given by your mom or your dad or your grandparents or friends, and not want what everybody else has. Be content with what you have. So that's the 10 Commandments. Remember, the first 4 deal with how we worship God. The last 6 deals with how we are to treat others, okay? Now, after God spoke to the people and He told them these 10 Commandments, okay, He called Moses and He asked Moses to come up on the top of Mount Sinai, up on top of the mountain, okay? And God was going to explain some other laws that the Israelites needed to know. And God was going to write down the 10 Commandments for Moses on these huge stone tablets by using His finger. And that's how God was going to do it, to put those 10 Commandments on stone tablets so they could all remember them, and they could have them, and they could see them, okay? And He would use His finger to write these commandments for them, okay? So here we have Moses, and he's climbed up on this mountain, Mount Sinai, and he stayed for 40 days. Now, he stayed 40 days just talking to God. 40 days is a long time, isn't it? The Israelites started wondering, well, what's going on? Where's Moses? What is he doing up there? And you know what? They couldn't go up there and look for him, because God had told them not to go up on the mountain. He had told the Israelites not to go up there, and that they were not allowed to go up on that mountain, okay? So let's look at our Bible and let's find out what the Israelites did. We're going to look in the book of Exodus, in chapter 32, starting in verse 1. Listen and you can hear what the Israelites did after all this time wandering around. Now, when the people saw that Moses delayed coming down from the mountain, the people gathered together to Aaron and said to him, "Come, make us gods that shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man who brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we do not know what has become of him." Uh-oh, it doesn't sound very good, does it, boys and girls? Who did the Israelites say brought them out of the land of Egypt? Did you hear that? They said, "Come, make us gods that shall go before us. For this Moses, the man who brought us out of Egypt." Now, boys and girls, was it Moses who brought them out of Egypt? No, it wasn't, was it? God, that wasn't true, because it was not Moses who caused the 10 plagues in Egypt. It was not Moses who allowed that to happen and then to change Pharaoh's heart and allow them to go. And it was not Moses who split the Red Sea, was it? No, it was really the one who rescued them from Egypt was who? That's right, it was God. And Moses just led the people. He was just used by God to bring the people out from Egypt and to bring them across the Red Sea and to take them into the wilderness and to lead them. And they had forgotten about God, and they had also forgotten about the commandments that they had just been told. So, do you remember what they told Aaron to do? Let's read it again. They said, "Come, make us gods that shall go before us." Uh-oh, boys and girls, doesn't sound like they remember the commandments, does it? They were pretty mixed up. First, they said Moses did things that only God could do, and now they wanted Aaron to make them an idol that would lead them out instead of God. Now, do you think this pleased God? No, it didn't, did it? All right, so do you remember the first commandment that we talked about? That's right, it was put God first, right? Do you think they were doing that? No, they weren't, were they? And do you remember the second commandment? That second commandment is worship only God. Well, if they were wanting Aaron to build them an idol, do you think they were only going to worship God? No, they weren't. They told them to make the idol for them to worship. And remember now, Aaron was Moses' brother who had helped Moses speak to Pharaoh and to help lead the people. So he should have known that this was wrong too, right? Well, let's find out what Aaron did, okay? We look on further in verses 2 and 3, and it says, "And Aaron said to them, break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, your sons and your daughters, and bring them to me." So all the people broke off the golden earrings which were in their ears and brought them to Aaron. Oh no, doesn't sound good, does it? And it says, "And he received the gold from their hand, and he fashioned them with an engraving tool and made a molded calf." Now, Aaron knew better than this, didn't he? He was the one who'd been right beside Moses the whole time helping him. And he knew what God had told them to do, but here he was. What was he doing? He made an idol. He had them get their gold earrings and break that off and bring all the gold that they had. And then he was going to make it into the statue of a calf. A calf is a young bull or a cow, okay? So here was this statue of this cow, okay? And then they said that it was their God. But it was just a statue made out of gold. This was all wrong. The people were all messed up. They didn't know what they were doing, and they weren't really doing well. And they danced and they sang around this calf and they worshiped this golden calf, and this was terrible. The Israelites already broke the first two commandments that God had told them to follow. They weren't worshiping God. They were worshiping the statue of a cow. Oh, boys and girls, that's awful, isn't it? Now, do you think this idol would truly help them like the one true God did? No. What do you think a statue was going to do? I think you're right. I think it was just going to stand there, wasn't it? It can't do anything. It's not alive. It's not real. Statues can't do anything at all. Someone had to make it out of that gold or out of clay for the mold and then put the gold all over it. But that's all they are. They don't have any real powers like God, who is omnipotent. Okay, so worshiping this statue or this idol is totally wrong, isn't it? And it doesn't make any sense because statues can't do anything. But God can, can't he? Because remember, we've said he's omnipotent, he's all powerful, and he's sovereign, that he can do everything, right? Well, Moses is still up on Mount Sinai while all this is going on, and God knew that the people were down there at the bottom of the mountain worshiping this golden cow, and he told Moses that he was going to destroy the Israelites because they were disobedient and they deserved to be punished for their sin. But do you know what Moses did? He prayed, and he asked God to show mercy. And to show mercy, and instead of wiping them out like they deserved, Moses asked God to show mercy and to help the people. So Moses prayed, and that prayer, boys and girls, saved the Israelites from death. But they were still in big trouble. He hurried down that mountain with these two stones in his hands. And now remember, what was going to be on these two stone tablets that he's carrying down? That's right, the 10 Commandments. And when Moses got back to camp and saw the golden calf and the people all dancing around, he was furious. And he threw down those stone tablets and he broke them. Then later, God punished them with a plague. But the people weren't the only ones who were in trouble. Moses had left Aaron in charge, and he had asked Aaron what happened. But do you know what Aaron did? He didn't say, "I'm sorry, I led them wrong." No, he said the people did it. He said they should be blamed for what he did. So let's listen to what Aaron said from Exodus 32, verse 24. And it says, let me find it here. Okay. And I said to them, whoever has any gold, let them break it off. So they gave it to me, and I cast it into the fire, and this calf just came out. So Aaron told him that they gave him the gold, and then he took that gold and threw it into the fire, and then all of a sudden this calf just came out. Well, that wasn't true, was it, boys and girls? That's not what happened at all. Aaron's story was not the whole truth. He made it sound like the gold just turned into this calf idol, and it just popped up out of the fire. Ta-da! Just like that. But the Bible tells us that Aaron took time to shape the gold into this idol, that he made it. He just didn't want to get in trouble for it. Aaron and the Israelites were all guilty of sin against God. But Moses had prayed for them, and God listened. They could have been wiped out because of their sin, but God chose to show mercy. So boys and girls, we need to remember how important it is to pray for others and to pray on behalf of others when we know they're making wrong choices, or even yourself when you're making wrong choices. We need to know how important it is to pray and to talk to God and say, I'm sorry. And remember that God listens, boys and girls. He listens to everything you talk to him about because he loves you very much. I want you to go and have a great week, boys and girls. And remember, take time each day to talk to God, because you know why? He wants to listen to you. Have a great week, boys and girls, and I love you very much. Bye.